A king, abandoned by God, walks into the night disguised, desperate, and terrified because he's about to do the one thing that he outlawed: summon the dead. And when the spirit rises, it doesn't bring hope, it brings a death sentence. Welcome to A Veil of Crime, where history's darkest moments are pulled from the shadows. If you're drawn to the stories people were never meant to tell, subscribe now. And if you want to support the channel, you can always buy me a coffee through the link on the channel page. Now, step back into ancient Israel, where even kings feared what waited in the dark. The story of the Witch of Endor comes from the Bible, specifically 1 Samuel 28. At this point in history, Israel is in crisis. King Saul, the first king of Israel, is unraveling. Once chosen by God, now rejected. The prophet Samuel, his spiritual guide, is dead. And worse, God has stopped answering him. No dreams, no prophets, no guidance, just silence. And outside Israel's borders, the Philistine army is gathering. War is coming, and Saul is afraid. Here's where it turns dark. Saul had already banned all mediums and necromancers from the land, declaring their practices illegal under divine law. But now he's out of options, so he does something chilling. He disguises himself, travels by night, and seeks out one of the very people he condemned, a woman in Endor. A medium, a necromancer, a woman history would remember as the Witch of Endor. When Saul arrives, he doesn't reveal who he is. He asks her to summon a spirit. She hesitates, fearful of punishment. After all, Saul himself outlawed this. But he swears an oath. No harm will come to her. So she agrees. And then it happens. And she begins the ritual. And suddenly she screams, not because nothing happened, but because something did. The woman sees a figure rising from the earth, an old man wrapped in a robe. Saul immediately knows who it is: Samuel the prophet, dead and now somehow standing before him. And what follows is not comfort, it is judgment. Samuel speaks, and his words are devastating. He tells Saul, God has turned against you. Your kingdom will be given to David, and tomorrow you and your sons will die. This wasn't guidance, it wasn't hope. It was a final verdict. Saul collapses in fear. The woman, this so-called witch, actually shows him compassion. She feeds him, helps him regain strength, and sends him on his way. The next day, on the battlefield of Mount Gilboa, everything Samuel said comes true. Saul's sons are killed, and Saul, wounded and defeated, falls on his own sword. So who was the Witch of Endor? The Bible never gives her name. She's simply described as a medium, someone believed to communicate with the dead. Her role is brief but unforgettable, and historians and theologians still debate. Was this truly Samuel? Was it a supernatural event permitted by God, or something else entirely? But one thing is certain. This is one of the most mysterious and chilling accounts in ancient history. A king, a forbidden ritual, and a message from beyond the grave that sealed his fate. If you want more true stories pulled from history, scripture, and the shadows, subscribe to A Veil of Crime. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee. The link is on the channel page, because some stories were never meant to be forgotten, and some were never meant to be told.